First of all, can you just tell me what attracted each of you to this project? What's the one thing that pulled you in?
Well, for me, it was two things. It was the concept and the way that it played itself out through the script. It was unlike anything I'd read or seen before in this way. And the opportunity to work with Eugenio, because we'd met 2 years prior at Fantastic Fest in Austin and had mutual friends and got to know each other relatively well. And I was excited about the prospect of working with him and seeing where he could take what this crazy concept was off the page, and that was a thrilling thing for me.
To me, it's, well, the fact that I'm a musician myself, and that I think that all sequential art, playing with this kind of three different layers at the same time, like the music, the events, where the camera is placed, it was like a challenge. And the fact that Damien Chazelle put together a script that it's, by all definitions, something that is never attempted before. So I think that that's enough of, with just 1 century and a little bit more of history of cinema, stumbling across a material that is so audacious and strange and crazy, and with this premise, it was like, like enough. And obviously, I have to say that, to me, everything starts in, the alpha and omega had to do with who was going to start this thing, because believe me, it was a lot to demand from an actor. And thank God I not only had an actor, but a filmmaker himself, like a collaborator.
Yeah, and also a piano player.
And a piano player, yes, suddenly.
You know how you prepared for that? I know you played when you were
When I was younger, yeah.
Yeah, so did you play in between during those times, or
No.
how did this work?
No, I hadn't played the instrument in ages. I mean, I'd mess around, like whenever I've got keyboards at home, I have a Moog synthesizer, I have like those sorts of things, and I toy around with them, but I really didn't play the instrument, and he can play, he can genuinely play the instrument.
I'm not a good piano player either.
You're an all right piano player. You can play the piano better than I can. Anyway, so I had about 3 weeks prior to going to Barcelona to work with the material, and it was in that time that I took lessons. But I mean, it was like 3 hours a day, super intensive, and I literally was peaks and valleys, man. Like days where I was like, I got this, I can totally see it. And then the next day I'd be totally discouraged because she's like, why can't you play that note? I'm like, I don't know what the note is. Like, it was hard. It was really hard. But it wasn't until I got to Barcelona where I really started to take what she had given me and then applied it to a constructive process by way that we could work within the context of the film that I finally got my head around it. It's complicated. It's hard to put it into succinct bites.
And I guess it's about the concept of stage fright. Can you really relate to this? Do you guys still experience stage fright in your personal or professional
I don't know
life?
stage fright.
I think that it's, no. It's more, meh.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I get anxious and nervous and, know. But stage fright, I think, is something
it's a new thing. It's another level. I think that stage fright is like it's like having vertigo. One thing is being afraid of being at the top of a building, and it's like, that's one thing. But if you suffer from vertigo, that's a total different story. I mean, you can have a panic attack and it's not about falling. It's just that it itself is another thing. So I think that it will be, we're going to take that term lightly, because stage fright is quite a thing.
Yeah, totally.